Welcome to the Drag Me to the Movies podcast. I'm Ned.
And I'm Joe.
In this episode, we're going to discuss Total Recall from 1990, directed by Paul Verhoeven. Stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sharon Stone, Michael Ironside, Rachel Ticotin, and Ronnie Cox. And also, happy 2026. Let's make this a good year. But Joe, what did you think of Total Recall?
Well, Ned, it's 2026. You said you want to make it a good year. Let's start it off with a good review, shall we?
Yes, please.
Total Recall was a good film. I enjoyed this immensely.
Okay, good.
This reminds me of kind of like a campy sci-fi type movie, right? Like,
yes, yep.
Things don't necessarily have to make sense.
It's self-aware a little bit.
Right. Some of the stuff that they do is real ridiculous, and not necessary, but like kind of adds to the fun of the film in ways. And we'll dig into that as we go on. But yeah, overall, I am pretty happy with this film.
Good. Happy to hear.
So happy year, happy to hear.
Uh-huh.
So let's start off with probably the way to set the tone of this film, right? Is at least 10 to 15 seconds of Arnold noises, which
Oh yes, there's a lot of those in this movie.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Him falling down that cliff and busting his visor open and then just screaming the whole time.
Yeah.
And his eyes bulging out of his face and his tongue.
Yep.
And like I know it's not claymation, but it almost looks like claymation.
Yes, they're practical effects that definitely use a lot of prosthetics and
yeah. So that kind of set the tone for the film for me, and I wasn't mad. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I enjoy. I think the most about this film is again how campy it is, but also how layered the story is.
Yes. Yep.
Right. So, Arnold's having these nightmares, waking nightmares of him on Mars with this woman. And then he wakes up and tells, Lori that he wants to go to Mars and she's very much against it. And he finds out about this service for recall, which is a place that will implant memories in your mind to make you remember like you went on a vacation somewhere or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so
we'll circle back to that too.
Yeah, so he goes to recall to go on a Mars trip, and while they're administering the memories, Arnold's brain kind of rejects it. Well, no, it doesn't even reject it. I think at this point, right? They just put him to sleep and they start to do the procedure, but
he
actually starts having flashbacks of actual.
Yeah.
Right. I forget what they called it. Like it was some kind of embolism or something.
Yeah.
But like he starts recalling things from Mars. And it wasn't anything they implanted yet. He was remembering his time on Mars, which was kind of like the twist I wasn't expecting, right? But they with the dreams though, dream sequence, it kind of makes sense then at that point, right? You're like, oh, he was having some conscious memories of something that happened, or at least half baked memories, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's your first layer of everything, right? Is that he was on Mars. But yet they wipe his memory and he doesn't remember it, right? Afterwards, because they find out that somebody erased his memory at one point or locked his memory up and they accidentally opened it. So then he goes back to to work or runs into his work buddy. And then you kind of come to find out that, the work buddy was in on this whole facade of keeping him imprisoned in his mind that he was an operative on Mars, which to me was kind of a fumble on their end. Not the movie, but like them as like the mob mentality, right? If they would have just believed him that he said he didn't remember anything, I don't think the film would have happened otherwise, right? Like that probably would have been it. He would have went back to his wife Lori, and that would have been it. But then like their whole fight scene happens, which again over the top, Arnold breaking necks like it's nothing kind of fight. It was fun. It was a fun fight. it was what it was at face value, nothing crazy. Again, people with machine guns aren't able to hit anybody. You know, there are a lot of plot armor in this film, but
Yep. Yeah.
still fun. Uh, and so there's that layer of it, right? You find out more people in his life were just kind of inserted there to keep an eye on him. And so it finally gets to a point where another operative reaches out to him and gives him a suitcase, and that suitcase has a message from from Arnold before he had his mind wiped to take care of things. And so, you know, he goes to Mars and meets up with people and stuff. And then you get hit with the next layer, in my opinion, where that doctor approaches him at his hotel room and tries to convince him that the recall implant that he had actually was successful. You know, that the brunette that he was looking for was actually Molina,
Mm-hmm.
who he met up with. They talk about him being an operative, which is what they tried to sell him at Recall. Uh, and you know, then you start to think about it, and you're like, oh man, this could be like multi-layered, right? He could be actually believing or living his memory that Recall put in there. And so there's like some stakes there, but then of course, you know, Arnold shoots the guy and uh shoots the doctor, and then you see his wife Lori gets upset, and you know, they try to capture him again. Uh so that's, I guess, the third layer so far at this film. Then it hits you with layer 4 of the videos from his past life, right? Uh was actually working with Cohagen and made it seem like he was against him, but it was all to trick Quaid into doing what he needed to do. And so now there was this other layer of manipulation happening, right?
Yeah.
Um so that's layer 4. Layer layer 5 of this, and I think the final layer, unless I'm missing anything, is when uh I don't know how I explain this. What was the rebels
The mutants.
uh
The
yeah, what was his name? I can't think of his name, but the little baby in the guy's stomach.
yeah.
Uh, right. So, then he reads his mind and sees that there's that reactor, that alien reactor that needs activated. And so then layer 5 is that I think that Quaid knows that he's supposed to activate it. But I believe, and you can help me here is to make sure I'm on the right page here, but I believe that it is true that Quaid was an operative for Cohagen, but the story that they built for Quaid to live in changed his personality to be more righteous than what his old past self would have been. And so, you know, Quaid ends up saving the population of Mars by, you know, turning on the reactor, right? So, so in my mind, there were two people for for Schwarzenegger, right? Which is, you know, of course true. There was the operative and there was Quaid, and I believe that the operative or Quaid's old life. I'm probably confusing the hell out of everyone now at this point, but
No, no.
um, the operative was kind of a scummy person and was Arnold Schwarzenegger's like true self, but the implants that they gave him turned him into the good guy that we see in this film, right? And so it's interesting to me in the premise of that, you know, they change the moral compass, I guess, of the character of Quaid,
Mm-hmm.
inadvertently, and he ends up becoming like a problem for Hagen and Bunch. So eh, that's a long-winded way of me saying is that like there's a lot of like left turns, right turns that happen in this film.
Yes, there's a lot of things
And
kind of left open to interpretation as well.
right, right. And I think it's so well done that to your point, like you kind of have to try to figure out like what all happened here.
Hmm.
Some of it's spelled out to you, but like you really like have to fill in the blanks of like, you know, what really did happen. What was Quaid the actual or original person and they turned him into you know, the secret operative and then brought him back, or like there's so much you can, you know, figure out or try to figure out here. Um so all that
Yeah.
said, I think the story is fantastic
Yeah.
in this film. Um
Very
I think
creative.
yes, yes. I think that they did a good job at kind of drawing what the future would look like, from 1990. The advertisements everywhere
Yeah,
thing.
self-driving cars.
Yep. The uh hologram like tutorials and stuff for like um the tennis stuff. Like I know
Yep.
we don't have that today, but like I could see that being a thing
I
at
mean,
some
we
point,
kind of
right?
do with virtual reality and like even the
Well, that's
Wii.
true. And I guess like in some concerts and stuff they've had holograms like of like Tupac and stuff, right? So I guess we do have that now. It's just not consumer level yet. Um we have the idea of feeding memories into your mind kind of thing. Like that's kind of a cool thing. Like we don't have that today, but that would be neat.
Hmm.
Well, potentially neat. I don't know that I would ever do that. Would you ever do that?
Uh, I don't know. Like this comes back to like there's a lot of other movies and TV shows that kind of go over this type of topic.
Mhm.
Like Severance. Gosh, I there's a part of me that likes to think no, but at the same time, like I think about my work day. If I could somehow block off that time of my life where I don't have those stresses, that I might do. So
Right.
if I can do that, would I want to enjoy a vacation and have the best time kind of guaranteed, at least in my head? Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to answer.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't think that I would. Um and there's reasons I had that I don't necessarily want to go into, but I feel like there's like if you think about the human psyche now, right? The
Mm-hmm.
people block things out of their mind now inadvertently,
Yes.
right? If
Yep.
something happens in their past or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But those things like inadvertently affect you in your decision making, in your confidence, and like all that stuff, right?
Yes.
So I wonder, even if like you did have like a computer like rewire your mind and stuff like that, would you be basically like putting some deep rooted like issues on yourself, like because your body still would kind of have those markers of like past issues or traumas or whatever, but you're just hiding them and masking them. um, I guess I look at it like medication, right? Like if you're trying to mask something with medication, like are you actually fixing the issue in some cases, or are you just treating the symptoms?
I mean, this
Um,
sounds like maybe a good extras to discuss.
I think so. I think so. Um, so anyway, we'll hold that for an extra then, right?
Sure.
Um, so then the X-ray, right, for the subway system, like I thought that was kind of cool. And how they walk around. I also really thought, like, again, kind of like a campy way of doing it, but when Quaid walks through with the gun and the X-ray goes off, and then all of like the guards rush and all their skeletons are there too, and
Mm-hmm.
you're watching the scene play out as skeletons with guns. Like I thought that was kind of ridiculous and kind of cool in a
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
Like I had fun with that. Uh what else in here? The taxis, right? Self-driving taxis. We have those now. Um, but we don't have them with a robotic taxi man in the front, which I kind of wish we did. That'd be kind of fun. Uh, so that's kind of cool. Um, yeah, I don't know what else there. I think I caught everything that I wanted to with that side of it. So the technology, like the futuristic look at technology in the world, I
Yeah,
think,
the world that was
played out
built
pretty well.
between Earth and Mars, I think they did a very good
Right.
job of that.
Now, okay, one thing I will call out that's technology related that I don't understand at all. This to me was like, what the hell were they trying to prove here? Or trying to go with? Can you guess what it is? It's technology based.
Um, hmm. So I'm guessing it's not the three boob lady.
No, that's not
Um,
technology. That's just awesome. No, I'm joking. Uh,
no, I'm not going to be able to guess it probably.
okay. Arnold's costume when he's trying to get into Mars,
The disguise.
where yeah, the disguise, and he's in the it just starts tweaking, going 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks,
Right.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Limited
Why?
dialogue.
Why?
Limited
Why?
dialogue, you know?
But why? But I don't get it. I don't. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't track for me. The
I
other side
mean,
of that.
you think they have
Yeah,
all
go ahead.
bugs fixed by that time in the future?
No, but like, why was he in like a robot suit of a lady's face? Like that was weird to me. Like, why wouldn't he? Like, if they have the ability to hologram, right? Which is another technology I forgot to mention, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that hologram bracelet? Why does it have to be like a robotic face that he had over top of himself. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, it
you
was
would think the
just a,
technology would have been like a voice masker, a hologram of a woman's face over his or something like that. I don't know. It
I
just
mean,
seemed
it's
odd
an
to me.
option, which, yeah, I'll catch something later.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, we get another use with that face of the freaking claymation face, which I don't understand why they did that there either. Uh,
I do from like a technical standpoint because as he's lifting the head off, he's not like I have a feeling it's kind of downscaled. So since it's downscaled and they're not able to like really put
oh,
him in there,
I got you.
like that's kind of why his face looks the way it does.
Mm.
I feel like it's not life size, but I could be wrong. But either
That
way,
would
the
make
way
sense.
that's shot, and how it lifts up away from his head, probably the way they did it, they thought would be the cheapest way. So
Yeah, that's fair. I thought maybe from a safety standpoint too, because it looks like there is some practical effect of the head splitting, like on
yes,
rails type of thing.
yes, yep.
So I'm wondering if that would also have caused an issue potentially. But um,
Well, even the
yeah,
way
either
he
way, that was
pulls the ear out and puts that cylinder back in, his head would
right,
technically be there. Like,
right, right. Um, oh, and while we're at the claymation faces again, uh, the the tool he uses to get that tracker out of his head.
yes,
Like him jamming it up in his nose made his whole face like expand and stuff. Like there's a lot of it almost reminds me. Did you watch any Pee Wee's Playhouse when you were a kid?
a little, not much.
Yeah, there was a lot of that kind of shit that happened in Pee Wee's Playhouse, if you remember,
Yeah.
of like people's heads turning into like claymation things and like morphing and you know what I mean? Like it's just again, I don't detract
Well,
that at all from this film. It was just kind of silly and like I loved it.
well, it is. I mean, even compared to like the end where they're, or even the beginning where the eyes are bulging out, face and everything's manipulating.
Right.
Like, there's no way they survive that type of pressure building or whatever for their heads. If their eyes bulge out that far, it's probably going to be some other problems instead of them just
Well, they're
coming
gonna
back to a
have brain
natural.
damage
Right.
or they're gonna be
Something.
disfigured when it's done.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh yeah.
But that's one of the things I think this movie just kind of accept and just this movie is very much, it came out at what I would almost consider a perfect time and had just the right amount of seriousness and comedy worked into it.
Mhm.
So it's one of those things that I think everything just came together correctly for this movie at that time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree.
Because I mentioned this mainly because there is a remake.
I know. I know. I almost pulled another what was the last movie I did that wrong? Oh, with Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Almost watched the wrong one.
Oh no.
Um but I caught myself and I'm like, no, Ned would wanted me to watch
I
the
mean,
Arnold one.
you knew Arnold
Uh
was in it, right?
right. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So at least you wouldn't make that mistake.
Right, right, right. Yep. Uh, so yeah, so yeah, the again craziness of three boobed lady. You already called that out.
Yep.
Of course, I took note of that. Uh,
I figured you would.
yep. Um,
Makes you
again,
wish
the
you had
quotes.
3 hands.
That's right. the the quotes in this film again are hilarious. Like Arnold yelling, "What the fuck did I do wrong?" Like that's hilarious to me. I've heard that before. That quote, like it's funny to hear it. When his recording gets stuck when they're blasting that rat to, when they're trying to find him at the what was that, I forget, it was like at a warehouse or whatever.
Yeah,
um
the
and it's
abandoned
just like get your
whatever.
ass to Mars, get your ass to Mars, like it just keeps saying that over and over again. Like that was pretty funny to me.
So this
uh
satisfied your Arnold boner.
oh, absolutely,
Good.
absolutely. um when he kills Richter on the elevator,
Hmm.
and he says, "See you at the party." Like that was hilarious to me. Like there's a lot of like good one-liners in this film, I guess.
Agreed. Or I really appreciate the one. He's like, consider it a divorce.
Yeah. Yep. It's so crazy. Oh yeah, when I think he says it to is it to Lori? I think at one point too, he says, "Some of it was fun, nice knowing you," or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Uh, it's just yeah. Anyway, it's crazy, crazy stuff. Uh, I think they do a great job also with the environment. Like the way things look on Earth, look futuristic
Mm-hmm.
in a way. So I think they do a good job there. Stuff with Mars, I think it was a cool interpretation of Mars being like kind of habitable, whatever that word is.
Habitable
Like
works.
yeah, like slums in certain areas, and then like red light districts, and then like dining areas, and then like the mines. Thought that was kind of neat that Mars would kind of have its own I guess setup, compared to
Mm-hmm.
Earth, like it's its own personality, I guess is the way I'd
Right.
explain it. So I thought that was kind of cool. Um, so yeah, I think that's well done. The musical score in this film I thought was well done as well. It's your typical early '90s, like tail end of the '80s, kind of like synthwave type stuff playing in the background, which I don't think hurt or did much for it other than like kind of filled in that campy feel
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. So I thought it was well done as well. And again, it's hard not to like an Arnold movie. You don't. I could say, at least this is my opinion. You don't typically watch Arnold films for his acting. You watch it for the action. And well, I shouldn't say you don't watch for his acting. You do watch it for his acting. You don't watch it for his top
For
notch
good
acting.
acting, right?
Right, right. Yeah, with Arnold, you know what you're kinda gonna get with it. And yeah, I think this checked a lot of the right boxes for me.
Good. Very good. All
So,
right.
what did you add to this? What did I miss?
I really don't think you missed a lot. Like it pretty much aligns with what I kind of expect you to take from it. There are a few things I kind of want to circle around to. For example, the way they introduced Benny into the movie, where he grabs his attention, steals the other taxi's work, and kind
Right.
of gets himself in there so that he can follow him into you know, the underground group and essentially kill their leader. Um,
Mhm.
I felt the way that was crafted into the story was nicely handled.
Yeah.
And then of course he got the send off with the screw you that which worked perfectly.
Right. Uh, in the, reoccurring theme of, like, I have 5 mouths to feed at home kinda
And then
thing.
four, and then what
Yeah.
happened to the other one? 'Cause I'm not even married. Uh, but yeah, there's that. I mean, it kind of sounds like you're in the boat that this wasn't a dream and it was real. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. I definitely feel like there's some things that are left open on purpose, and that kind of is one of them. Um, I'm also in the boat of it actually happened, uh, even though the faces and eye bulging, all that stuff aside. Um, I feel there are certain things that happen in the movie that almost kind of hint at it being real, and it's more around like there's parts with Cohagen and Richter talking, and Arnold is nowhere near them.
Right.
And you're getting those conversations, which, if you're getting those side conversations, usually that's not something that would be in a dream per se. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, yes, but I guess the other side of it too is that the way they do like environment
Implants.
building.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, I'm just thinking from like at least a traditional storytelling standpoint.
Right.
Um,
No, you're right. And if I can add to the point of what you said about the faces and stuff, right?
mhm.
Like that is a kind of a wild thing to think of. Like I just accepted that at face value that that's just what they had at the '90s, right?
Right.
And I
Right.
think that's what they were going for, but could it have been poor practical effects by recall that were there, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like maybe they didn't get too good at face bulging and stuff like that, right? Those animations.
Yeah. Potentially.
It's an interesting way to think of that, but
Hmm.
but no, I'm very much in I think the side of that this was real.
Okay. Cool. Um, I also appreciate like how they worked into the story with the environment is like, on Mars, the, environment is harmful and, the guy has control of the air and everything and the whole dome concept and they can't shoot at them. Otherwise they'll crack it and break the whole thing and kill everybody essentially.
Mhm. Right.
Like I appreciate that kind of thing in there. I really liked the way, they run into that, I don't know, whatever club, but there's that hidden wall that they go into, and then they set the table
Mhm.
back up and have people just talking. I like how that kind of played into the movie.
Right.
And yeah, I just feel like they did a very good job of setting you up in a way where you're kind of always like kind of second guessing what's actually going on. So it's a mystery that kind of doesn't get solved, but I like how it kind of leaves it open to your own interpretation as well.
Right.
So, let's see, is there anything else that I have note wise? No, I don't think so.
Oh, there's one thing I want to add.
Okay.
Can we just take a moment of silence for the random dude on the escalator that got turned into a meat shield
Oh my God,
for no
yeah.
reason?
Yeah, that is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, man. Like, could you just imagine? Well, I mean, you wouldn't have to imagine much, right? If you were that guy, because you'd be dead pretty quick. But
Uh-huh.
just on your way to work or whatever, and you get turned into a meat shield for somebody that you have no idea who they are, why it's happening. It just happens.
Yeah, and I also like
Mm.
how Richter uses them as a stepping stone, just one
Yeah,
final.
they zoom in on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, I think I do want to steer the conversation real quick to the remake. Um,
Okay.
you said you started to watch it?
No, 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 no.
No?
I
Okay.
just I just saw that there was 2 Total Recalls out there and just wanted to make a joke about how I almost watched the wrong one.
Uh-huh. I see. I see. Okay. Um, so that one I have seen it. It's not nearly as good, and I think that kind of circles back to the me saying that this Total Recall from the 90s is a film of its time.
Mhm.
Um, it feels different in the 2012 version. Um, I feel like they took it more seriously in some ways. Like it has a lot of the same beats and characters and stuff, but I don't know. It kind of definitely didn't have the charm of the 90s version to me. So if you
Yeah,
really
that's
like
fair.
this one, it might be worth checking out to kind of figure out if you'd like it. But in general, I feel like they kind of missed the mark a little bit with that one. And then I do want to call a few things. So the director of this, we've seen a movie of his before, RoboCop,
Oh, okay.
which Ronnie Cox was in both, and then we also had Rachel Ticotin in here, right? So we saw her recently in Falling Down.
Right.
So some parallels there. I don't know how familiar you are with Michael Ironside, but he's got a lot of good movies out there. Sharon Stone is in this.
Mhm.
So there's other ones that she was in. I think she actually did another movie with the director after this called Basic Instinct.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that one?
I am. I've never seen it, but I am familiar.
Okay. And then, he also directed Starship Troopers, which I think you said you have seen that one.
I have, yeah.
Okay. Michael Ironside makes an appearance there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do think Michael Ironside played a good bad guy
Yes.
uh
Yep.
in this film. Very menacing.
Especially since, his woman was essentially being forced onto Quaid.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I mean, this movie in general, like as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of different media out there that kind of plays around with some of these ideas. Um, Something like Minority Report. Have you seen that one?
No, I have not.
Okay. So in that movie, it's essentially Tom Cruise plays a cop where they have these psychics that can detect murder and crime before it actually happens. So they have a unit that actually goes out and stops people from doing these murders, crimes, and things and arrests them prior to them actually committing them. So, like,
Oh,
that's a whole mind bending thing just on that premise alone, right?
gotcha.
Does that sound
Yeah,
interesting to you?
it does. It does.
Okay. I might add that to the list as well. Um, but yeah, the one final thing I want to call out, do you know there's the guy Benny in this movie? He has he's the one mutant that's in the restaurant or the
Yeah.
club, whatever. I didn't realize this myself until just now, today. But he was played by Dean Norris, who played Hank on Breaking Bad. I don't know if,
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, he's so covered in makeup that I was like, I just didn't
Yeah,
recognize him.
interesting.
Yeah. So that's a little fun fact. You're a Dean Norris fan. It's always funny for
Very
me to
cool.
go back and see like some of these actors and where they got their starts. So figure I'd call that out.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess you ready for scores?
I am indeed ready for scores.
All right. Let's start with you, sir.
All right. So, based on everything that I already said, I am going to give this one a 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed this. Definitely going to watch it again sometime. Yeah, I've not run into many Schwarzenegger films like this that are not of this caliber that I have not gone back to watch. So I'm all
Good.
about this.
Good. I'm happy to hear that, sir. Myself, I also gave it a 4 out of 5.
Nice.
It's just a fun movie. I love the concept, the creativeness here, just practical effects, how things come together. It's just it came out on 1990, but it is a perfect way to roll into the 90s with this movie first. So
Right.
definitely one that I also revisit every once in a while. So yeah, cool.
Good. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice starting the year with one where we're both on the same page.
Yeah.
So
Will it
this is good.
continue? Stay tuned to find out.
That's right.
Highly improbable, but anyway, let's talk about next recommendations. I would like you to watch a movie called Point Break.
Okay.
Are you familiar with it?
I am not.
Not at all.
Nope.
Okay. Well, it stars Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
And yeah, it's about a bunch of people who commit crimes and surf. On a simple synopsis of it. So
Okay.
it's a fun one. But that's going to wrap up this episode. Be sure to check us out on Threads and Facebook at To The Movies Pod, and we are also on YouTube at The Movies Pod. Thanks for joining me on our trip to Mars, Joe.
Thanks for dragging me to that trip to Mars, Ned. I appreciate
You're very welcome. Bye, everybody.
it. Bye-bye.